this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I have something special to share with you today. One of the things that's going to be coming up during our upcoming eclipse in the sign of Scorpio is going to be affecting us in some different ways, but I'm going to explain that all. So our energies will be kind of really on high alert. If they're not already on high alert, surprise, because a lot of people are already on this like super high alert with their energy, kind of like this, oh my gosh, what's happening to the world? But I really think this is kind of interesting because we have our full moon in the sign of Scorpio, lunar eclipse. And so this is going to be kind of like, what's going on? May 5th is going to be one where we're going to have a huge kind of like pulling of things that we want to let go of, things that we want to release, things that we want to remove from our lives, things that we want to cut out in some way. So this could end up being cutting out jobs, removing jobs. Toxic people could be like, yes, let's get rid of all of it. I could also say like chaotic situations, and that could be at home or work or family or anything else, like people just going like, I'm over this, I'm out of this. And kind of like bringing in anything that's kind of like purposeful. If you're bringing something in during this time frame, it's because it's kind of replacing something that you've let go of. You've let go of the negativity and now you're bringing in the positivity. So if something's coming in at you, it's going to be like, yes, it's positive. If it is on its way out, it's because it wasn't serving you and it really wasn't serving your life purpose. So you may find that you're requiring kind of like tying up some loose ends or kind of letting things go with ease, so that you can like choose your like to kind of finish up your life purpose and kind of like, what else do I need to do, or what else do I need to do to finish this off? Like, what are the to-do lists so I can get those done, kind of thing. It's one of those kind of like, you chose your life path before you came here. So many times I think people kind of get that reversed and they think like creator energy like chose this life path for you. No, they might have helped or assisted, but I guarantee you, your life path is your life path. You chose this. You chose, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to create. This is how I want to do this. And so kind of like the universe, the world, creator's energy, the Milky Way galaxy itself is like supporting you on your mission to move through your life journey, to learn your lessons, to learn loving lessons so you can kind of keep moving and work on your life path, the one that you chose. One of the things that's interesting to understand is Scorpio energy is ruled by the Pluto. So kind of things that we've kind of like let go of or kind of slide off our path is going to be kind of coming back on. It's like, oh, we've been kind of like doing other things for other people. That's where a lot of toxic people are leaving. And so now that we're kind of cutting those out or cutting that way down to where we were doing, we're bringing in some new healthy energy. Pluto also rules over life and death. So it's kind of like the death of that old and bringing in the life of the new kind of energy with it. Scorpio loves kind of like that surprise, like they kind of keep things hidden and they don't want anybody to see what's going on. And then all of a sudden it's kind of like, boom, here we go. Ta-da, surprise, here we go. And so they love that spark of drama. They love that spark of like, no one saw it was going on and now it's here. And that can be like so much of like an ego boost to our energy of like, yes, we have been feeling controlled and kind of like, I want to do something else, but everybody keeps pushing me this one direction. And now it's kind of like, let it go. Because if not, it can almost feels like you're like they're self-poisoning you, or they're kind of giving you things that are poisonous to you to kind of keep you off track or keep you down when they're really not. You're allowing them to take over. You're allowing them to kind of step off in that energy, but you're not making those boundaries. You're not holding those boundaries. So let go of all of those boundaries that don't work with the toxic people and kind of set new boundaries. And if it doesn't work, then say, okay, now you're cut out of my life. I'm not doing this anymore. Kind of during our eclipse cycle, we are offered a true gift from the galaxy, the world, of kind of like physically being able to see into the minds and hearts and souls of others. And that's kind of like, wow. And because things that they normally wouldn't say are going to be coming up, even before the 5th, but even after the like 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, you're going to feel people like all of a sudden just like say their truth, and you're kind of like, where did that come from? believe it when you see it. When they tell you that truth, like, oh my gosh, just believe it and move on. I will tell you that this really kind of brings us to a place of kind of like, what do we really intend to do in our life? What is it that you really want to do? What are the things, if you already knew like you were going to get all green lights and get all, yes, you've got it done, you've finished everything, what would you try? What would you start? Where would you be at? That's the things that you should be working on. Those are the things that you should be really focusing in on, because that's usually your life path. But so many times regular stuff gets pulled up in there, family, friends, all this kind of stuff, the chaotic stuff that we allow to take over instead of being on purpose of what we should be doing and how we should be doing things. Any issues that are been coming up in the last kind of like 3 to 4 years that have been kind of bringing up kind of like that no-go point, like I could do this but I don't have this part or whatever else, coming up in many different areas of our life, are going to be bringing in some like new energy, because we're cutting out the stuff that's been holding us back, and now we can really launch forward into what we really want to do. I will say kind of some of this could be like some big breakups of people that you never thought would break up, you know, and some of it you're like, really? You know, I would say kind of like, I was talking to someone about this and they were like, you mean like when Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt broke up, and kind of like it made the news or whatever else, and it was like kind of like that, like people that you would have never thought would have broken up or breaking up. And I will tell you, that's not the only thing. Their friendships have probably endured forever, and it's kind of like now those relationships and those friendships are no longer, it's kind of like this breakup is just like we're not friends anymore. You will also see this a lot in like professional people that have been with the same company for a long period of time, or friends that have worked well together in partnerships, and then all of a sudden it's like, this is it, now we're cutting it off, and you're like, ooh, yeah, those are kind of be the things. I will also see that this is kind of like those company professional fallouts. This could also go into governments, and kind of really exposing deals that have been made in secret, kind of things that kind of could come out, and like if they come out, it's not like, oh my gosh, it's horrible, but it's kind of like secrets that could kill their career. Like, because you signed this or because you did this and you were claiming like you had nothing to do with it, those truths are going to be coming out, and it's important for us to hold them to those truths, because so many times we don't. We just kind of like, oh, well, that's a human thing. We just kind of like let it off there. We're mad at them for a period of time and then we let it go. These are the things to kind of remember. That's who they truly are. Those contracts that they wrote in secret, those agreements they made in secret, that's who they really are, and that's what they really bring to our planet. And we allow them to kind of have that self-esteem, like, oh yes, they're better than everybody else, or they're this way, or something like that. And a lot of times they're not. They're like just like everybody else, and just know that those contracts that they've written in the silence, written in the dark, is going to be coming forward with that Scorpio energy. Many of us, it's kind of really now kind of like our green light to go, kind of like our energies are pushing us to move forward. And many of us have felt like all of the crazy energy that's been coming up, it's kind of been like holding us, you know, to kind of where we've been in the past. But once we get closer to this eclipse on May 5th, it's going to be pushing us so much further down the road. And this isn't just for a little bit. This is like going, because like I said, this energy has been hanging on for like 3 or 4 years, and now it's like zoom, let's get ready to go. The energy that Mother Earth is sending to us with this Scorpio full moon eclipse is really going to define us for the next 2,000 years. So it's kind of like, really? Yeah, it's defining us. It's kind of like the last of what's hanging on, and now we're ready to move forward. We have opportunities to kind of make some great changes in our world. We have some great times to kind of make some new evolutions and new revolutions and some new change. And it's kind of like making some changes. Holding people to things that they've done in the past is going to be a great opportunity for all of us to bring this forward. A lot of times people kind of feel like, keep telling me like it's the woke thing, and now everybody's like psychic and stuff like that. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the whole woke society. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of two different things. So it's one of those, don't confuse this woke energy with other things that are coming up. They're completely different. A lot of times people think, oh, well, they're getting into their spiritual journey. No, not necessarily. It's one of those, they're kind of usually off on their own path, and that's really not going to be helping them move forward either. So it's kind of like, really? Yeah. Opportunities will be evolving and kind of opening doors for each of us to kind of move into a more realistic new path. Maybe some new exciting shifts of energy. And this is a great way to kind of cut down on some things that you haven't been doing well with your system. Some of these could be cutting out things that you know are not good for you, things that you've had allergic reactions to in the past, because now it's like your body is going like, I need to run better, run more fuel through this whole system so that we can keep going in this energy. And this clear out doesn't stop at the end of May. This goes all the way through until like October 28th of this year. And when we have our full moon and Taurus eclipse, that energy is going to be kind of like pushing us even more forward, of kind of like bringing this out and bringing this forward so we can kind of negotiate some new energy for us and kind of get out of the old way and the old habits so we can continue to move forward, because that's really what we're meant to do here. So many times people tell me like, this is not what I was supposed to meant to do here. And I'm like, then do what you know you're supposed to be doing. And that's really following your heart and your intentions. Anytime that you let someone else kind of take over for you, you're letting them take over and kind of take away your energy when it's supposed to be yours. Don't let that happen. Let your ideas kind of come to shine and shine with your energy, because that's the ones that are meant to be here. Let's do some angel cards and let's get us a little bit deeper insight into all things our Scorpio full moon eclipse on May 5th. The first one is divine guidance. This is your divine guidance that you are meant to do something special and different with this energy. It is coming in very quick and very fast for us. And it will be making some amazing changes if you allow this full moon to take away the toxic things that you've been holding on to in your life. Friendships are something that can be really powerful for us, but a lot of times they can also be something that kind of really holds us back and kind of really can hold us back in some areas. I think sometimes friendships, if we kind of feel like we're going to outgrow our friends in some way, shape, or form, we're kind of like, I don't want to outgrow this person. I don't. I've seen that with spouses as well, friends that they've had for a long period of time. They're almost like, I don't want to outgrow this person. I'll stay small. But it's one of those, it's very hard for that person to stay small when they're not meant to. Surrender and release. This is a sign for the full moon. Surrender and release anything and everything that's not working for you in your life, because it is not meant to kind of hold you back. It's really not. It's meant to push you forward, and to push you forward in some amazing ways. Trust. Trust that you're watching this video at the right time so you can start making these changes. Even if it's before the eclipse or after the eclipse, there's a reason why you're brought to this video, so that you can make some amazing changes in your life. And hopefully you do, because there's nothing more like anxious, crazy energy than to kind of be stuck in the same energy over and over and over again. The good part is, take what's not working in your life and cut it out in some way, change it, modify it. But things that are working, like, yes, push that energy forward so you can start getting your life path accomplished. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.